Hey guys, it's Marlena here with G&M Outdoor Services, coming to you with the office side of stuff. Today we're going to be talking about permits. I have piles and piles of permit stuff, as we do a lot of different permits, from small county and township permits to City of Minneapolis encroachment permits, traffic control permits. Today we're going to look at a couple different permits that we had this season. The first one is City of Crystal for a townhome apartment here that we were taking out a existing failing timber wall and replacing with a boulder wall. Super tight space. I'm sure some of you have seen this one on our Instagram and Facebook. Where I start with the permits is I'm going out to the city website of where we're doing the work at, and as we get familiar with the cities and townships that we work in, I have a personal contact with each of those so I can reach out to them. Here's our scope of work. We do not move forward with any permitting until we have a signed quote from the homeowner or the customer. In that case, otherwise I can put 2 hours of permitting work into it and the job is not a go. So we're super conscientious about only moving forward with the permits if the job is approved, signed, down payment is made, etc. So I start at the city website. So City of Crystal, I went back and forth with the guy at the City of Crystal on what we were doing, what we wanted to do, and then that will determine what type of permit. So there's different building permits, land alteration permits, fine grading permits, material permits. There's a lot of different permits for what we do, if it's a boulder wall, if it's just bringing in 10 yards of mulch in the city of Minneapolis, you need a permit for it. Out in the township, out in the suburbs, they don't care about that. It's anything, it's very dependent on who you're working with, where you're working. So on our City of Crystal one, go to their website, figure out what type of permit you need, and then you're basically filling out with your scope of work that you have. So I can show you the scope of work we have for this job, this boulder wall job. This is what I'm sending to the county. So I have my customer of where it is. This is our job in Jobber. I would have a client signature on this, but I just printed it out before that. But this will have our scope of work. So I'm sending this to the permitting department so they can see exactly what we're doing and the amount of material that we're using, because that also determines what type of permit you have on how much material you're bringing in, removing, disturbing, etc. The next piece that we have to do is a site plan. So on some new construction, we already have the surveys. Super easy to write up on a survey. When we don't have a survey, we either use Google Maps, Hennepin County property maps, or Beacon out in Wright County, Sherburne County. So we need something to show where the project is and where on the property we're doing the project. So then I'm putting here what we're doing, where our erosion control will be. So I'm coloring where the project is and then where the erosion control is. Any city, township, government, silt socks, erosion control, silt fence, they want it, and they want double than what you probably would need, but it makes them happy, and it's something easy that we can do that is going to cost your customer $500. Protect the wetlands, protect the water, protect the neighbor's property. So we're putting the site plan together with the permit. I don't have the exact permit that I did fill out for this one. This is just my approved permit, but you're putting in who the owner is of the property, the materials. It's pretty, if you have your scope of work, you have all the information, you're transferring it to the city's form, filling it out for the city, signing it, possibly getting the homeowner signature on it as well so that they know that the homeowner is on board with what you are doing, and emailing that back. Most of them, they want you to pay the permit fee right away, which is good because that means they're pushing your permit through, your permit's good to go. We've never had a permit denied. We will have to adjust the scope of work sometimes to more material, less material, do it a little bit different of a way, but we've never had a permit denied where we couldn't do what we intended to do or close to it. You're going to get your approved permit back from the county. This one, $207, or from the city, I'm sorry. This one, $207 from the City of Crystal for this boulder wall. This was about a $10,000 job for a $200 permit. So you're going to have something like this. It's usually like a thicker paper, cardboard paper that they will mail to you, then that you can have out on the site with you in the field, so that the guys, when the inspector is out, then they can fill that out. Then any notes that they have as well. On this one, it was just boulders cannot negatively impact surface water flow. This one we had to be understood that we could not go onto the neighbor's property to access. So this was a tricky one with that. It's in writing, we have to abide by that, but we can do it and make the job work. Here's one that we did in Wright County for Lakeshore. We've done a ton of Lakeshore work in Wright County, so I have a contact over there that's easy to work with. This one, I believe we had to bring our material amount down a little bit, but we can make it work. Same thing, so this was a land alteration permit. We have our customer's information, so I'm just covering that, but we have our lot area, our lot width, our lot depth. A lot of this can be found on your beacon is what we use here in Wright County to get those dimensions. Otherwise you would have to go out onto the site and measure those as well. And then here we have the type of project, what we're doing, how much material, and then a brief project description of what we are doing. Along with that, same thing, I have my beautifully drawn map of what we're doing. So we have our house, all color coordinated, so that back there I'm referring to the silt fence. They can see where the silt fence is, just easy to use. The guy at Wright County he laughs at my colorful drawings here, but it works. It gets a gist of what we're trying to do, what we're adding, what's existing, where we're putting the silt fence, where the lake is, how wide the property is. Just gives them a little bit better idea of what you're doing versus just a scope of work of this is what we're doing. This one, $200. So same thing, I think $10,000 or $12,000 job, $200 permit, charge that back to the customer. We just note on any permitting or lakeshore jobs that any permits or erosion control is not included in the quote because we don't know what they will require. Most permits are $200. I've had a $10 permit up to a $500 permit, and it really all depends. So we don't include any of that in our original quotes just because we don't know exactly what it will be. Same thing, we have our card from the county. This one they approved. They weren't too, some of them they're gonna wanna come out and do an inspection, and Garrett's gonna go over that more in a little bit. Other ones, we have the permit, we're doing what we're saying we're doing. We have a good relationship with the county so they don't question it too much, and we get in there, do what we need to do, and we keep the silt fence in. So this was like a mid-September, early October project, so we'll leave the silt fence in until the spring. And I just via email with the county, he asked about that and I explained that yes, we'd be leaving in the silt fence. With all of the permitting stuff and everything, some people are very scared and nervous about permits, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're asking what you're doing is okay, and they're gonna work with you on it. They're not just gonna blow you off and say no and you can't do anything. They're going to work with you on the permit. So you have to get over that fear of, well, I have to do a permit and I don't know what I'm doing. It's a 1 or 2 page document. You have all the information, fill it out. There's certain things on here of like your setbacks, your OHW, your amount of shoreline that. If you don't know that, you can ask whoever you're working with. They will explain to you how to walk through it, or step by step what you need to be doing. And it's very simple, and everybody that we worked with has been easy to work with. There's a fear or something around permits that it's just do it, get it done, get your guys out in the field, and once you have a couple under your belt, you can kind of see what they're looking for and what to expect, and reach out to them if you have any questions.
Hey Fogy, so on a lot of jobs nowadays you do need a permit. In the city of Minneapolis, if you move more than like 4 or 5 yards of dirt, you need a permit. So nowadays you need a permit to breathe, you need a permit for everything basically, so you just gotta get used to it. You can't just not do them and then worry about someone's gonna show up and screw you because you don't have a permit. So it's way better off just getting the permit. They're not hard. So here's a permit that we recently got for the project. It's a pool demo in the city of Big Lake. I think I made a video on it a couple videos ago. Basically just simple info you fill out on. It's super easy to fill out on the city of Big Lake. You can get it printed off, send that in, got approved right away. And then here's a little drawing put together. The pool, here's everything. We're taking out everything inside of that blue line. And then here is the piece of paper we have that we had to display on site. Super easy. There's 4 steps. There's a pre-inspection, open hole inspection, debris removal, and then the final inspection. So this had to be on site. I just stuck a stake in the ground, tied it on there, and this was on site the whole time throughout the time we were doing the job. So he came out, did the pre-inspection, checked that all good on the 8th, came out on the next day on the 9th, open hole inspection, make sure we got out all the concrete, which we did, all the concrete piping, everything, and then came out and did the final inspection once we had it all backfilled and graded out. So it's super easy. Just hang this on site. They come out and do the before, the pre-inspection, the during, make sure you got all concrete out. They don't let you bury anything in Big Lake anyway. And then the final, once you had it all graded and filled in. So I had these and I thought I've never seen a video ever on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or anywhere about permits. No one's ever made a video, so I figured why not make a video. So if you are doing jobs and know you need to get permits but you don't really know how, hopefully this video helps out with that, because it's really not hard, you just got to do it. But if you don't ever know, if you've never done one, you don't really know. So let me know if this helped out in the comments below.
Thanks guys for watching. Please let us know in the comments below if there's anything else that you want to see on the office side of things. During the winter here, we have a little bit more time to get in depth to processes and stuff like that. So let us know in the comments below. And remember, in order to get results that no one else is getting, you must be doing things that no one else is doing. So have a great day.